There's so many ways that gun violence can start. It can be something that somebody sits on for years and then they just sort of get in a crisis mode and maybe their mind is a little unstable and they kind of go off. It can be, for some folks, a means to exert some power in a life that may not have a sense of control and sanity to it. It can be as simple as people who feel like they need guns for the work they do, which might not be on the legal market. Gun violence starts in many, many ways, but what we do know is that when research shows us that is that if somebody is feeling violent, if they're in crisis, if they're having a moment where they're feeling like they need to exert some power in a situation and they have access to a gun, it is most likely somebody will die. And so what we want to do is make sure that people who are in those crisis moments don't have access to firearms. There are a lot of organizations that are doing gun violence prevention work. Moms is one of them, Students is one of them, March for Our Lives, Sandy Hook Promise, the Giffords organization, the Brady organization. We all work together to talk to our lawmakers about laws and policies that will save lives. And it's not just federal lawmakers, it's city lawmakers, state lawmakers. We're doing work across the country, really at the grassroots level. All of us are volunteers. Telling people that we've had enough. We're tired of waking up and seeing headlines of mass shootings. We're tired of waking up and seeing headlines of community gun violence, and that we want to save lives. No. And legislation is not the only answer. Laws are not the only answer. It's also about a community coming together and standing up and supporting people who are struggling and having a hard time, whether it be they're struggling economically, they're struggling mentally, personally, but we know that there are common sense measures that state legislatures, city councils, and the federal government, the Congress, can pass that will save lives. So we do need more laws that have research behind them that lead to making sure guns stay out of the wrong hands. Moms has chapters across the country in rural areas and cities, and we are working to make sure anybody who lives anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's a big city or a small town, has the safety and can live knowing that they're not going to be shot. Gun violence is a plague in this country. It's a problem. People deserve to live their lives free of the fear of gun violence. They deserve to go to school, to go to movie theaters, to go to church, to worship, to work at a newspaper. They also deserve to just walk down the street in Chicago, in Baltimore, in Detroit, in LA, in New York, here in DC. They deserve to live a life free of the trauma of gun violence.